Welcome back to the Road Show. This morning in the Buzz, some jobless Americans are finding the silver lining to unemployment is pretty great. There's a new movement, in fact, and it's dubbed Funemployment. It's a social movement of people who are jobless but joyful about an opportunity to try their hand at something new. Take a look.
There's so many people doing so many things, and the internet and blogs and Twitter and Facebook are really, it's very powerful, and it's so easy for people to get information and for people to find other people doing things, and you can do anything you want right now.
I feel incredible. Things could not be better.
I love that. I really do. And as a matter of fact, the New York Times just had a recent article about this where a bunch of people have gone and created food trucks, like gourmet food trucks, because they were always using them when they were at work, but they didn't have, there were certain niches that weren't unfilled, so they did that. But in any case, both of those women there had corporate jobs. One was a lawyer, the other was an executive assistant. And like many of their peers, they look at this as a gift. And there's even a website for those who want to blog or contribute ideas to the movement while they're unemployed. So the question is, I mean, any time that you are told that your services are no longer required, whether it's because of a layoff or you've been let go or whatever, it's a very difficult thing to wrestle with. Do you guys think that you'd be able to look at it as a gift?
Well, I actually had a friend that just got laid off this past week, and you know, she's young enough to where she's not too worried about it. She's got a decent little severance to hold her over, and she's kind of looking at doing something that maybe like a dream job or following something that she was doing something that she graduated with in college, but like so many young people, she was kind of bored at the office desk, even though she had good health insurance. She was making a decent living.
It's the right thing to do. It's a smart choice.
Right. Exactly. Now she's got this little bit of a, they give her a little bit of money to hold her over. Now she's thinking, maybe I want to move. Maybe I want to try something, get out of New England, and go into hair and makeup or something that she's always had an interest in, something on the creative side. And she's looking at this as kind of an exciting time as opposed to, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Type thing.
Well, the severance obviously helps. If she can have it's almost like going on scholarship for a couple months to try and find a new line of work. I've worked in this field, in television, since '94, and I've worked with a lot of people that, it doesn't have to do with this business specifically, but after 10 or 12 or 15 years, say they get laid off, say that they're out of the business, the one thing they always say to me is, wow, there's other things to do in this world other than what I've been doing. And I'm only relating to the field that I've been in for this long. But for some people that lose their jobs, it's oftentimes wow, I actually can do something else, make a living, and perhaps enjoy myself more than I was in the previous job that I was in. So.
It's so true, because a lot of times I think people get stuck in a rut, or they, you do the safe thing. You go to college, you get the right job. And I actually applaud you, Ben, because I think a lot of people wouldn't necessarily embark on a comedian's career because you don't know when the next gig is coming or whatever. But now for you, it's paying dividends, and I think that for some people, when you get stuck in a rut because it's the safe thing to do, you want to stay by your family, you want to have a good job, and that's all important. But when you start to suffer yourself because you thought, well, what if I had taken a stab at that? For a lot of people, this is the impetus to do that.
My uncle sent me an article once, and I'll never forget this. I was starting to get into comedy. My cousin was doing dancing, and it was about to take a chance when you're young, to kind of follow a dream and not, settle. Like, unfortunately, so many, I'm sure everybody has friends or family that they're kind of in their job just counting down the days they can retire, and they go to work every day and they're just bored and they sit. I mean, it's rewarding now that it's paying off, but even if it didn't, I can at least say I took a chance at this different way to kind of make a living that was, ultimately going to make me happy every day.
Courtney, there was actually a quote that I used to look at and really appreciated when I was in college, which was, you can't discover new oceans unless you have the courage to leave the shore. And I think for a lot of people, this is kind of the push that they need to do just that.
Absolutely, especially with having all of that time. We have a few of our blogger friends who are in that position now, and they're telling us how they're spending their time basically with possibly being unemployed. And JB says he would treat it like a work week, 5 days looking and enjoy the rest. And Smokey Wolves had said, I've been looking for a while now, and I found time besides looking for a new job doing things around the house I never got to do while working. We have a poll here right underneath the live blog on foxprovidence.com, and we're asking, if you found yourself unemployed, how would you spend your time? Your choices are A, searching for a new job, B, spending more time with family, friends. C, doing activities I never had time for. Or D, starting my own business. And I also posted that story about Funemployment that we were just talking about. If you want to read a little more, see what folks are doing across the nation. And here's a snapshot of our Facebook page this Monday morning. Lots of comments. And Elin Principe says she'd spend more time with family. Bob Morris says I would spend my time looking for a job. And Anthony Brooks said, I was just unemployed for 8 months. I found myself doing things I didn't have time when working, going to the gym, looking for jobs, and just spending quality time with family. He says all that's gone, but I have money now again. Yay. So congrats to you. We will have the poll results to see what you all said in about 30 minutes from now. Back to the kitchen. Lily, what's going on in there?